Hello! Today I'd like to talk about something a little different, about a miniature war game called Turnip28. Now what's Turnip? Turnip is a miniature war game about, well, turnips. And a dash of Napoleon, but also some really cool medieval looking knight guys. The game is by Max Fitzgerald, creator on social media, and he's basically built it from the ground up, no pun intended. I'll also link his Patreon and where you can find the rules in the description below. Now, when I first stumbled upon this game, I was immediately gripped by the art and also the armies that just awesome creativity that people have put into their own armies. So right here, I'm just trying to plan out how my regiment might be organized. The rules are fairly simple. It's composed of, the armies are composed of snobs and their units. Typically, games are 3 snob games. So in each of these little diagrams, I'll do 1 Toff, which is the leader, and then 2 little toady characters. Each snob gets 1 unit, except for the Toff, which gets 2. So a lot of variety that can be played with this, and it's also very open-ended. There's not a lot of point costs. It's very, you design it as you want it, and I actually really like that. It's a nice departure from Warhammer and all that stuff. So like I said, just building up little army lists, trying to figure out what I want to do exactly. I also want to plan around what kind of units I want to bring. So, for example, I really like infantry in my war games, so I'll be doing a lot of infantry. And there's just awesome art from Max in the game on the left. So let's get building. After taking all the guys off the sprues, I did do a little bit of experimenting. I took some of the Agincourt Knight helmets, specifically the face plates, and I just literally glued them onto some of the Napoleonic figures from Perry. I think they actually came out kind of cool. I like the look of them, but there's not enough Knight face plates to go around, so what I ended up doing was I did a few of that, but then I decided to test my sculpting skills. I have sculpted before, but not very much, and definitely not in this scale, so we're going to see where this goes. My goal for Turnip is to keep everything as affordable as possible, so even the bases, these round bases I got, they're not Citadel or anything like that. They're just from Amazon. They're I don't even know what company they're from. They're just a pretty much knockoff round 25mm base. I was going to base them with these squares you see to the right, but honestly I just think aesthetically the black rimmed round bases are a little bit better for that. Though we are going to have to get some movement trays for them. And I'm just super gluing on all the troopers onto the bases with it's just super glue. There's nothing special about it. It's just super glue from my local Hobby Lobby, which I don't like shopping at sometimes because it really isn't a hobby store, but it is what it is. Sometimes they have cheap supplies. Again, keeping with that affordable theme. And then after that, I'm going in. I did buy this. This was a little pricey, but I was okay with it because I like the results. It's this Vallejo Earth Texture Paste. And basically, I'm slapping it on all the bases immediately after I glue them on. and they're turning out pretty nice. This stuff dries really nice and hard, and that's definitely going to be good for durability. One of the things I don't like about using, say, the classic sand and white glue is sometimes it can come off really easily if you don't put on a lot of layers of paint. It can come off easily anyways sometimes, so I'm definitely going to be getting more of this stuff. They come in a variety of colors and styles, so that's pretty good. Just slapping it right on their bases. And then I am going to be wiping off the excess just so it looks a little cleaner. I have a pet peeve about the base rims being clean. They absolutely cannot have anything on them in my opinion, but that's just a personal preference. You guys do whatever you feel like it. So I ended up busting out my green stuff that I've had for a little while, and it just went to town. Like I said, this is one of my first time using green stuff to sculpt specifically, but I did enjoy it. It was pretty fun to do. I just need to work on sort of using the I did end up mixing a little too much, but that was fine. I just had to make more helmets than I thought I was going to, but it came out pretty nice in my opinion. Just mixing it up right now, I'm not a huge fan of the texture of this stuff because it's a bit more of an epoxy rather than a clay, from what I understand. But it is definitely fun to sculpt with. Making all sorts of conversions and custom models is really fun, and that's part of the reason I really wanted to get into this game. Just based on a lot of the armies that people have already made with Turnip, I started to make a lot of beak-sized shaped helmets, as well as some cloth and fabric-y looking helmets. One of the guys that actually sculpted it ended up looking a little bit like Jason from part 2, and I had a lot of fun with this. It was just figuring out what kind of head each guy can have, and having each one be a little unique was really fun. I do really want to try more getting that helmet look. Unfortunately, these models are not fantastic for that, just because the way that they're posed with their muskets, it's hard to get around to the full head because the head is right next to it. I'm sure I could do it separately, but I'm getting used to this again. I'm coming back to this after a while, so all things to be learned and lessons to be taken away from this. And if you have any questions, please, I would love to see a comment down below. So there you have it. I think I'm gonna do a video on painting these guys and making my full regiment, my full first regiment. I'm pretty excited to do that. I have all the models. I have to plan out what conversions I want to make and what kind of theme I want to make this army. But yeah, I think they came out pretty good for my first attempt. To the right, I have all the miniatures I use for converting these guys. Not a lot quite yet, but as I build more, I'm going to use a lot more kind of kits and try to really make a lot of cool conversions, model building and painting videos in the future. If you like the video, leave a comment and consider subscribing down below. Thanks. Have a great day.